we honor this Pope as if he's this holy man, here's a question that I have for you. What makes this Pope that just passed away more holy than you? What makes this Pope more holy than your child? It's a good question, huh? What makes this guy so special? Are we not all daughters and sons of God? Are we not all able to tap into divinity, into holiness? Why are we deeming just this one person as holy? Hi everyone, it's Psychic Medium Jojo Empathic here. I have a quick message for you. So this is very, blunt. I will say it this way. It can be alarming to some people because I know that the Pope is someone that means a lot to a lot of people, but I want to talk about it from a higher perspective, from a higher state of consciousness, and from a place that I'd say is truth, rooted in empowerment and love. I am almost disturbed to watch flocks or masses, you could say, of people that are mourning this Pope. Why? Because I do not believe that we should be worshiping other people. When you are worshiping someone else, another man, another mortal, there's a serious energetic exchange that takes place that siphons or harvests or steals and drains your own power, your own energy. Let me repeat that. When you are worshiping someone outside of yourself, such as another man, you begin to siphon your energy. Your energy begins to be drained. You begin to give your power up to someone else. So if you're on this journey where you're trying to become more empowered, you're trying to heal yourself, you're trying to discover truths in the universe, the first place you want to start is looking at your idols. Where are you giving your power away? Where's your focus going? Who are you worshiping? I remember when I was a little girl, a young girl, 12 years old. I used to read this magazine. Do you guys know those things these days? Magazine called Word Up Magazine, where they had a lot of like hip hop stars in there, and I would cut out all the pictures of Chris Brown and plaster them all over my walls. Like extremist art, just walls covered with men. I was 12. But I was a really good basic example of human nature. Women, girls, are trained to be that way through the church, through school, and then at home. Worship a man. Prepare yourself for your husband. Get yourself ready for him. Save yourself for him. It's all about him and how much of a prize you're going to be to him. And I think human nature is this way. We are programmed to give our power and our focus and our money away to other people when we need to be investing in ourselves. So as a child, I did that. But then, I got a boyfriend when I was maybe 15 or 16, 14, 15. And I said, let me take all of these posters down. I want to get a little bit more sophisticated, so I painted my walls brown and pink. So the healing message that I'm trying to bring forward here is if you're blocking yourself or you have a block in your life, it could be stemming from religion. It could be stemming from everything you were ever taught about what you think you should be going towards. I'll go back to this whole Pope thing. The Catholic Church is behind some of the most ferocious corruption on this planet. The Catholic Church is responsible for wars. They used to burn women alive. The torture, the rape of people. Throughout centuries, they've been responsible for so much corruption. And we honor this religion as if it's the way or the truth. The Catholicism is behind the school, backing the school up. We send these kids off to school, and they sit at desks, and they're just programmed, almost like a soldier, to just sit there and don't speak and stay in line and do what we say, and this is how to think, and this is what to think, and it's so siphoning, it's so draining. We as a collective have to realize that these programs are leading us to the nursing home, leading us into how the Pope went out, supposedly, what they're telling us, what they're showing us. Poor health. As if we were, it leads us to not taking good care of ourselves. It leads us to not healing ourselves. Now, I can understand and respect someone having a mentor and a teacher and someone that is uplifting, but we should never be worshiping other people. It's disturbing. I think that watching a lot of these religions, it's almost a mental illness in a sense. It's really sad to see that we are worshiping and honoring things in this society that have caused so much pain and confusion. That's not okay. It's not okay. And so right now that we don't have this Pope in charge in the Catholic Church, this is an opportunity for us that are awakened to take this time and call back our power. To, if we're praying or we're manifesting who's going to come into this powerful world leader position next, put your intention into that. Maybe you can manipulate that. Maybe you can help change it. Have there be more peace with what the Catholic Church has done and is doing. But this, I think, is a good time if you're coming across this message and maybe trying to figure out what's going on in your life and why there's a blockage. Maybe think the way you're thinking is tied to some sort of programming telling you how you think and how you should think and how you should act and what you should do. All comes from the church. It all comes from the Catholic Church, the Pope, their power, their influence. And I just hope this video maybe changes your perspective on where that mindset leads you. Look at him at the end of his life. Look at him. There's a raw foodist. I believe she's in her 70s. Catherine Caprice. Drop a comment if you know her name. I think it's Catherine Caprice. She's a raw foodist, and she's, I believe, in her 70s, and she's flawless. She has no health problems. Her skin is, beautiful. She has energy. She's a role model. We've forgotten that that's what the goddess looks like. That's what the God looks like. Someone that's older, wise, and healthy. We never see that image. We don't praise that. We don't worship her. The people that we idolize in this society, the Pope is what we idolize. That's where you'll head. If you get what I'm trying to say here. He's not in the position of a healer, playing the position of a healer. So, hopefully this video was interesting to you. Don't let religion get in your mind anymore. If you're trying to work on yourself, understand that way you're thinking is probably a program. You're trained to go to school, join the military, go back to school, get married, have kids, go to the doctor, go to church, tithe, practice holidays. When are we going to start to think for ourselves? When are we going to tap back into our roots? When are we going to stop giving all this power away outside of us? When are we going to stop saying that there's this male God sitting on a throne outside of us? When are we going to give more respect to the goddess? When are we going to start to listen to the elders that are healed and healthy? When are we going to start talking to ourselves like, I'm going to grow old and wise. I'm going to grow old and healthy. Instead, we talk like this. We say, I don't want to get dementia when I get older. I don't want to be in a wheelchair when I get older. I don't want to go into a nursing home. We're just fixated on all of the things we don't want. Focus on a different reality that can exist for you based on empowerment, based on thinking for oneself, following one's desires, rooting oneself in love, tapping into spirit, getting out of the dualistic mind. Rise higher. If you're interested in developing your intuitive abilities, join me for a 6-month spiritual development journey called A Journey with JoJo, available for you to sign up today at jojoempathic.com.